Im tirtzu enzo agada. If you will it, it is no dream. These are the now famous words written by Theodor Herzl a few years after he established the World Zionist Congress. And since its founding in 1897, the WZC has existed as a way for Jews living in the diaspora to have a voice in helping to shape Israeli society. Every 5 years, the World Zionist Congress holds an election which gives Jews around the world a chance to have an impact on how Israel spends its money and treats its people. Voting for this year's critical election begins on Monday. I promise we will get back to the elections, but first, let's talk a little Torah. So we are currently in a cluster of parshiot that I find to be beautifully connected to this upcoming election. With God's help, Moses takes the Israelites out of slavery and brings the people into the wilderness so that they may enter into an eternal relationship with God. And standing at Mount Sinai, the community experiences a revelation as they witness thunder, lightning, a dense cloud around the mountain. The entire mountain is engulfed in smoke, all while there's some horn blaring from the heavens. The people are shocked and a bit traumatized by this experience. They immediately say to God, "Yes, of course, whatever you say, we'll do." But they quickly ask Moses to continue being the direct line to God. So Moses heads up the mountain, tells the people he'll be back in about 40 days. And while up there, God tells Moses about this incredible opportunity for the community to come together, to take their gold and their jewelry and use them to build a holy space for God to dwell amongst the people. Meanwhile, at the foot of the mountain, the people are scared that Moses has not yet returned. And so they begin using their gold and their jewelry to build a golden calf. Moses never relays the plans for collective building, and it becomes clear that at this particular moment there is a massive disconnect between the leadership and the people. This moment also reminds me of another unintentional moment of miscommunication. Regardless of whether or not you've seen the film, there's a line from the 1989 movie Field of Dreams that we all know since it has remained in our cultural parlance since. But our communal game of telephone broke up along the way, and we actually changed it from the original "if you build it, he will come," referring to the main character's father, to "they will come." Probably because of how the film ends, spoiler alert, with people showing up to watch baseball in a cornfield. It's fascinating how we can all see or read the same thing and walk away with different understandings. Let's get back to the election. This Field of Dreams quote reminds me a lot of Herzl's. If we invest the time, energy, and resources into something, we increase the chances of it succeeding. The modern state of Israel was created as a way to bring world Jewry together and unite with the common goal of building and supporting the ancestral homeland of the Jewish people. However, as Jews living in the diaspora, it can become difficult to connect to Israel from a distance. That distance can create apathy, which then leaves space for someone else with a very different understanding to step in and apply their own efforts to create what they believe Israel should be. As Jews, we are forever connected to Israel. But I believe that it's become increasingly difficult for Reformed Jews to see an Israel that doesn't regularly reflect our progressive and liberal values. That the hope for a peaceful solution in that region has faded as the government continues to show favor to the ultra-Orthodox. For many, October 7th made it clear that this connection has been neglected for too long. In the aftermath of this ongoing war, we have seen all too clearly that what happens in Israel impacts Jews around the world. The World Zionist Congress is our chance to make an impact on Israeli society. From March 10th through May 4th, we have an opportunity to vote in the World Zionist Congress elections, and I invite you all to join me in voting for the reform slate, which includes 3 representatives from our very own TIOH community: Senior Rabbi Emeritus John Rosov, past President Heidi Siegel, and her son, Evan Kroftheimer. This delegation will oversee an annual budget of $1 billion to ensure that Israel remains a democratic and pluralistic state for all who call that land home. The modern state of Israel isn't going anywhere, but that $5 billion will if we don't vote. No matter how you feel about Israel's current government, and believe me, there is a vast array of opinions in this community alone, we must acknowledge that there are incredibly dangerous forces currently weakening the security of Israel, the land, and the people, by attempting to turn the country into a false idol which completely misrepresents Jews and Judaism. TIOH is committed to making sure that our people get out and vote their values here in America when the opportunity presents itself in Israel. Please join us in voting and then help spread the word to get more people aware and involved. The more votes means more delegates, which means more say in how the budget is spent. A vote for reform is a vote for the Israel we want to believe in and support, one that is aligned with our values of equality, democracy, pluralism, justice, and peace. I look forward to all of us voting in this election and doing our parts of having our community and those connected to us help shape the future of Israel. If we build it with them, we'll already be there.